Hi class, in this video we'll discuss exercise 1 from ML Aggarwal on GST. I've already explained GST in the previous video. Before we do the sums, few things we should note that GST is always calculated on SP. Net GST is output GST minus input GST, and IGST, which was integrated GST, the entire amount goes directly to the central government and it is always applicable on interstate sale, when the sale is from one state to another state. Okay, now look at the first sum. A shopkeeper buys goods worth rupees 4,000 and sells these at a profit of 20% to a consumer in the same state. If the GST is charged at 5%, find the SP excluding GST of the good, CGST paid by the customer, SGST paid by the customer, and the total amount paid by the customer. First thing, calculate SP. SP will be what? CP plus profit, which is, if I'm not wrong, 4,000, and this is 800 if you calculate. So that's rupees 4800. Now we'll calculate GST. Your GST is calculated on SP, which is 5% of rupees 4800, which is rupees 240. Now CGST will be half of this, which is rupees 120. SGST will be half of this, say, will be rupees 120. And what the amount the customer pays? The customer pays this plus the tax. So the customer pays 4800 plus 240. That's 5040. Am I clear? Now look what they have asked. The SP excluding GST of the good, that's rupees 4800. Number 2, CGST paid by the customer, that's rupees 120. SGST paid by the customer, again rupees 120. And number 4, the total amount paid by the customer will be rupees 5040. Clear? Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 5, which says a dealer buys an article for rupees 6,000 from the wholesaler. The dealer sells the article to the consumer at a 15% profit. If the sale is intrastate, which means within the same state, and the rate of GST is 18%, find the input CGST and input SGST paid by the dealer, output CGST and output SGST paid by the dealer, net CGST and SGST paid by the dealer, and the total amount paid by the customer. Step by step, look over here. For the wholesaler, SP is given, we'll find GST. GST is 18%. So over here GST will be 18% of rupees 6000, which is rupees 1080, isn't it? Now this will be divided into two parts, CGST and SGST. CGST will be half of this, 450, and SGST will be half of this, which is again 450. And this is nothing but the input for the dealer. Input for the dealer. Now look at the dealer case. He sells the product at a profit of 15%. So his SP will be the CP, which is 6,000 plus 15% of 6,000. Am I clear? Which is 900. So this will be rupees 6900. Am I clear? Now GST. GST is charged at a rate of 18%. So this will be 18% of 6900, which is 18 by 100 into 6900. So 18 into this will be 72. This will be 1242. Again, this will be divided into two parts. Look over here. CGST and SGST. Half of this is 621. Am I clear? Now in the second case, in the dealer's case, we need to find the net GST. And remember, this is nothing but the output GST. Okay, for the dealer, this was the input. Now in this case, we'll first find net. Net CGST will be what? output minus input, which is 621 minus 540, which is rupees 81. Similarly, net SGST will be what? Again 61 minus 540, which is rupees 81. Now let us see what they have asked for. Okay, number one, they have asked, okay, and the customer buys it for rupees 6900 plus the tax, which is 1242. So this is 8142. What they're asking: input CGST and input SGST paid by the dealer, which was this rupees 540 comma rupees 540. Done. Number two, output CGST and output SCGST paid by the dealer, that's rupees 621 and rupees 621. Am I clear? Now, net CGST and SCGST paid by the dealer, which means net they ask. Number three will be rupees 81. And what they're asking, the fourth one, the total amount paid by the customer, which is rupees 8142. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 7. A manufacturer sells a TV to a dealer for rupees 18,000 and the dealer sells it to the consumer at a profit of 1,500. If the sale is intrastate and the rate of GST is 12%, find the amount of GST paid by the dealer to the state government, the amount of GST received by the central government, the amount of GST received by the state government, and the amount the consumer pays, step by step. First of all, for the manufacturer, the SP is known. We'll directly find the GST. So GST will be 12% of 18000, which is 1812 is 216. So that's rupees 2160. Okay, this will be divided into two parts. We know CGST and SGST equally, which is 1080, and SGST is also 1080. Now, for the dealer, see, the dealer sells it at a profit of rupees 1,500. So for the dealer, the SP is, this will be the CP, which is 18000 plus 1500, which is 00591, isn't it? Now the GST will be what? 12% of rupees 19500, which is 12 into 195, which is 2340. Am I clear? Which again will be divided into two parts. Look over here, CGST and SGST. CGST will be 1170. Over here there will be net CGST and net SGST. So net CGST will be output minus input for the dealer. Output is 1170 minus 1080, that's 90. And net SGST again same, 1170 minus 1080, that's 90. And what does the customer pays? The customer pays 19500 plus the tax, which is 2340, which is 04812. Now look what they have asked for. The amount of GST paid by the dealer to the state government. The dealer pays to the state government rupees 90. Am I clear or not? The net he pays. Number 2. The amount of GST received by the central government. So the central government received 1080 plus 90, which is 1170. Number 3. The amount of GST received by the state government, same, 1080 plus 90, that's 1170. And the last part, the amount that the consumer pays, which is 21840. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 8, which says a shopkeeper buys a camera at a discount of 20% from the wholesaler. The printed price of the camera is 1600 The shopkeeper sells it to the consumer at the printed price. If the sale intrastate within the same state and the rate of GST is 12%, find the GST paid by the shopkeeper to the central government, GST received by the central government, GST received by the state government, and the amount at which the consumer bought the camera. Again, step by step. First of all, find the SP over here, which will be mark price minus discount, which is 20% off mark price, which is 1600 minus 320, which is rupees 1280. Am I clear? Now comes the GST. GST is what? 12%. So it will be 12% of rupees 1280, which is rupees 153.60. Am I clear? And this will be divided into two parts. C GST and S GST. So half of this will be 76.80. 76.80. Am I clear? Now look for the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper selling price given. So GST over here, GST will be what? The GST will be 12% of rupees 1600. That's 12 into 16. That's rupees 192. So this again divides into two parts. CGST, CGST and SGST. Half of this is rupees 96 and rupees 96. Over here we'll calculate the net also. Net CGST is rupees output minus input, which is rupees 76.80. That's rupees 19.20. Am I clear? Similarly, net SGST will be again same, rupees 96 minus rupees 76.80. That's rupees 19.20. Am I clear? Now what does the customer pays? Definitely rupees 1600 plus the tax, which was 192. So the customer pays this. Now look at what they're asking. GST paid by the shopkeeper to the central government. This, the shopkeeper pays net GST, okay, which is rupees 19.20. Done. Number 2, GST received by the central government, which is 76.80 plus rupees 19.20 from here. Am I clear? That's rupees how much? 96. Done. Number 3, GST received by the state government, same as this, which is rupees 96, and the amount at which the consumer bought the camera. This is number 4, which is 1792. Clear? Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 9, which says a dealer buys an article at a discount of 30% from the wholesaler, the mark price being rupees 6,000. The dealer sells it to the consumer at a discount of 10%. If the sale is intrastate within the same state and the rate of GST is 5%, find the amount paid by the customer, the tax paid by the dealer to the state government, and the amount of tax received by the central government. Step by step, we first find the SP in this case, which will be mark price minus the discount, which is 30% of 6,000. So this is 6,000 and this is 1800. That's rupees 4200. Let us calculate the tax. So the GST in this case will be 5% of rupees 4200, which means 5 multiplied by 42. That's rupees 210, which again will be divided into two parts. Your CGST and your SGST. CGST will be half of this, which is rupees 105, and SGST again half of this, which is rupees 105. Now the dealer case, over here they've said he gives a discount of 10%, so the SP will be mark price minus the discount, which is 6,000 minus 600, which is rupees 5,400. Clear? And the GST in this case will be again 5% off rupees 5400. That's how much? 00 goes away. 54 into 5, that's rupees 270. Now again, this will be divided in two parts, C GST and S GST. C GST is half of this, rupees 135 and rupees 135. And in this case, we'll calculate the net C GST and the net S GST, which is output minus input, which is rupees 30. Again over here, 135 minus 105, that is rupees 30. And how much the customer pays? The customer pays 5400 plus the tax, which is 5,670 rupees. Now look what they are asking for. First thing, the amount which the customer pays, which is 5670. Number 2, the tax paid by the dealer to the state government. So the dealer pays how much? The net SGST is rupees 30. The last part, the amount of tax received by the central government, which is rupees 105 plus 30, which is rupees 135. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 11. A retailer buys a TV from a wholesaler for rupees 40,000. He marks up the price of the TV 15% above the CP and sells it to the consumer at 5% discount on the mark price. If the sale is interstate and the rate of GST is 12%, find the MP, the amount which the consumer pays, the amount of tax paid by the retailer to the central government, and the amount of tax received by the state government. Step by step. In the first case, for the wholesaler, GST will calculate. GST is what? 12% of rupees 40,000. That's 12 into 4 is rupees 48. So 4800. This will be divided into two parts. We know C GST and S GST, which will be half of this, 2400. 2400. Done. Now look, we'll first calculate the mark price. The mark price, the cost price, which was 40,000 plus 15% of 40,000, that's 40,000 plus this is what? 6,000. So that's rupees 46,000. We'll find the SP now. So the SP is 46,000 minus discount, which is 5% of mark price, which is rupees 46000 minus this is 2300. So the selling price will be rupees 43,700. Am I clear? Now comes the GST in this case. GST is what? 12% of 43700. 12% of rupees 43700, which is 12 into 437, which is 5244. Again, this is divided in two parts. Look carefully. C GST, S GST. C GST will be 2622. Over here also same, half of this. Okay. Now what is the customer pays? This, which is 43700 plus the tax, which is 5244, which means the customer pays this much. Now look what they're asking. Find the mark price. Done. Which is 46,000. The amount which the consumer pays. Done over here. isn't it? 48944. The amount of tax paid by the retailer to the central government. The retailer pays the central government net CGST, isn't it? Which is output minus the input, which is rupees 222, and net SGST again same, 2622 minus 2400, that's 222. So number 3 will be rupees 222, what the retailer pays to the central government, that is net CGST, and the amount of tax received by the state government. So the state government receives 2400 plus 222, that's 2622. Am I clear? Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 12. It says a shopkeeper buys an article from a manufacturer for rupees 12,000 and marks up its price by 25%, which means the mark price will be the cost price for the shopkeeper plus 25% of the cost price. And he gives a discount of 10% on the mark price, and he gives an off-season discount of 5%. Very nice. If the sales are intrastate and the rate of GST is 12%, find the price which the consumer pays inclusive of tax, the amount of tax paid by the shopkeeper to the state government, and the amount of tax received by the central government. Very easy. First, we'll find tax over here. That will be 12% of rupees 12,000. That's rupees 1440. That will be CGST and SGST divided equally. So 720 and 720. Done. Over here, first I'll find the mark price. So the mark price is rupees 12,000 plus 25% of 12,000, something like this. So which is 12,000 plus 3,000, which is 15,000. Am I clear? Now the SP. There are two discounts, so we know it will be mark price 100 minus D1 by 100%, 100 minus D2% by 100. Am I clear or not? So your SP is 15,000. 100 minus D1, that's 90 by 100. Multiply by this is 95 by 100. This 4 zeros goes away. So your SP is 15 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 95, which is 12825. Done. We got the SP. Now we'll get GST. GST is calculated on SP only. So your GST will be what? 12% of 12825, which is 12 by 100 multiplied by rupees 12825 for 3 times 425 times. These two cancels. So this will be 1539. Again, this will be divided into two parts, CGST and SGST. What will be CGST? Half of this, which is 769.50. Similarly this. Am I clear? In this case, we'll find the net CGST and net SGST, which the shopkeeper submits. Net CGST paid to the central government will be output minus input. So that's 49.50. Similarly, net SGST will be same, output minus input, that's 49.50. Am I clear? What does the consumer pays? Definitely the consumer pays the selling price, that is 12825 plus the tax, and the tax over here was 1539 if I'm not wrong. So we'll simply add it. This Now, what they're asking for, look, the price which the consumer pays, this is the answer 1,4364. The amount of tax paid by the shopkeeper to the state government, which is nothing but this, part 2, the net SGST, and the amount of tax received by the central government. So the central government receives 720 plus 49.50, which is 769.50. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at this sum, very interesting. Number 13. This is a case of interstate sale. Sale from one state to another state. Okay. The printed price of an article is 40,000. A wholesaler in UP buys the article from a manufacturer in Gujarat at a discount of 10% on the printed price. The wholesaler sells the article to the retailer in Himachal at 5% above the printed price. Means the selling price will be mark price plus 5% of mark price. If the rate of GST is 18%, find the amount paid by the wholesaler for the article. Find the amount paid by the retailer for the article inclusive of tax. The amount of tax paid by the wholesaler to the central government, and the amount of tax received by the central government. Step by step. Look over here. Selling price will be mark price minus discount, that is 10% of 40,000. So that's 40,000 minus 4,000, isn't it? That's rupees 36,000. Now tax will be 18% of rupees 36,000, which is 18 by 100 multiplied by 36,000, which means this will be 6480. Okay, and this entire amount goes to the central government in integrated GST. I told you this is a case of integrated GST. Am I clear? Now for the wholesaler, let us see. First find the SP. So the SP is mark price plus 5% of mark price, isn't it? They have told in the sum. So that's 40,000 plus 2,000. That's rupees 42,000. Am I clear? Now find the tax. This is 18% of 42,000. That's 7,560. Am I clear? And this over here, see, net GST will be what? The output minus the input. Okay. Over here also, this goes to the central government. This doesn't go to the state government. Okay. That's why I have not divided it into two parts. One part for the central government, one part for the state government. Not in this case, because of interstate sale. So the net GST with this case will be output minus input. Am I correct? Okay. So the retailer, buys it, look carefully, for this 42,000 plus the tax he has to pay, which is 06594. Now let us see. First one was that only, I think. No, first one was not that. The amount paid by the wholesaler for the article inclusive of tax. So first one, the wholesaler will pay this plus this, isn't it? 36,000 plus 6480 plus 0842. This much. Am I clear? The amount paid by the retailer for the article, this is number 2. No doubt in that. Am I clear? And the amount of tax paid by the wholesaler to the central government. So the wholesaler will pay this much to the central government. And the amount of tax received by the central government. Pretty easy. Over here he will receive 64, rather central government. And over here 1080 as this much tax. Am I clear? Let us look at the next sum. Now let us look at number 15. A shopkeeper in Delhi buys an article at the printed price of 24,000 from a wholesaler in Mumbai. The shopkeeper sells the article to the consumer in Delhi at a profit of 15% on the basic cost price. If the rate of GST is 12%, find the price inclusive of tax at which the shopkeeper bought the article. Very easy. The amount is the consumer pays. The amount of tax received by the state government of Delhi, very important, and the amount of tax received by the central government. First of all, this is an interstate sale, which means we'll calculate IGST, which goes to the central government, which is 12% of 24,000, which is 2,880. Done. So cost price inclusive tax will be how much? 2,4,000 plus 2,880, that's 0,8862. Done. Now the selling price over here. The selling price is the basic cost price plus 15% profit on the basic cost price they have told. That's 2,4,000 plus 3,600. That's how much? 2,7,600. Am I clear? Now over here we'll calculate GST. This is intrastate. So that's 12% of 2,7,600, which is how much? 3,312 if I'm not wrong. This will be divided into two parts. Look carefully now. See, GST will be 1,6, 5, 6, and SGST again 1,656. Consumer, how much the consumer pays? Consumer pays 2,7,600 plus 3,312, which is 2,1,903. This is what the consumer pays. Look away, the price inclusive of tax at which the shopkeeper bought the article, which is this much. Number 1 is done. Okay. The amount which the consumer pays. Number 2 is also done. Number 3, the amount of tax received by the state government of Delhi. Now look carefully. Just look carefully. Very important. CGST deposited, by the shopkeeper will be what? Look carefully. IGST was 2,880. Over here CGST was 1,656. Am I clear? So CGST deposited by the shopkeeper will be 1,656 minus 1,656 from IGST, which means the shopkeeper will not deposit anything to the central government. Am I clear? Now look. Still, amount credit in IGST. How much? See, still he had deposited 2,880 minus 1,656. So this is how much? This is 4. This is 2. This is 2. This is 1. 1,224 is the amount still credit in IGST. So how much the shopkeeper will pay to the state government? Amount paid to state government will be this minus whatever is credited still, which is 1,224. Am I clear? Which is 6 minus 4 is 2, 3, 432. Look carefully. So the shopkeeper deposits rupees 432 to the state government of Delhi. Now the last portion, see. The amount of tax received by the central government. Come on, the amount of tax received by the amount of tax received by central government is of course IGST, which is 2880, plus the tax deposited by the shopkeeper, which is nil in this case, 2880. Am I clear? Very interesting. Okay, now look at the next sum. Now look at this sum, very interesting. Kiran purchased an article for rupees 5310, which include 10% rebate on the mark price and 18% tax on the remaining price. Find the mark price of the article. Very easy. Let the mark price be X. So rebate or the discount is 10% of X. So the selling price is X minus 10% of X. That we know is 9X by 10. On this, the tax is calculated. Okay, tax is how much? 18%. So that's 18% of 9X by 10. So that's 18 by 100, 9X by 10. Am I clear? Now look, can we say according to the problem, this the selling price plus the tax is equal to the cost price for Kiran. I'll take 9x by 10 common, so what is left? 1 plus 18 by 100 is equal to 5310. Simple calculation. 9x by 10, this is 100 and this is 118. 5310, which means x we can write 5310 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 100. 9 into 118. Am I clear? This gives, I think, 5,000. Done. Now let us see the last sum for this exercise. Now look at the last sum for this chapter. Shopkeeper buys an article whose list price is 8,000 at some rate of discount, we don't know, from the wholesaler. He sells it to the consumer at the list price only. The sales are intrastate and the rate of GST is 18%. If the shopkeeper pays rupees 72 to the state government, find the rate of discount at which he bought the article from the wholesaler. Now look carefully. Selling price will be mark price minus discount, that is D% of mark price, which is 8,000, and this will be D by 100, so this will be 80D. This is your SP. Done. So GST will be 18% of 8,000 minus 80D, which will be divided into two parts, C GST and S GST. C GST is how much? 9% of 8,000 minus 80D, and S GST again 9% of 8,000 minus 80D. I'll just open this. 9 by 100, 8000 minus 80D, which gives us, when you open the bracket, 720 minus, this is 72 by 10. Am I clear? And this case, if you see, we'll find the tax. GST. GST will be what? 18% of 8,000. This again divides into two parts. CGST and SGST. CGST is 9% of 8,000, sorry, and this is 9% of 8,000. That is 720. Now, the net SGST. How do you find? Net is what? Output minus input. Am I clear or not? And this is equal to 72. They have already given us. Am I clear? Now solve it. Just open the brackets. So 720 minus 720 plus 72 D by 10 equals to 72, which means D equals to 10%. Done. Keep it till here. In the next video, we'll see some other chapter. Till then, take care.